Hello everybody. Don't you hate it when your computer runs out of processing power? It sort of grinds ever slower and it crackles and all that kind of thing. It's a problem which faces absolutely everybody who runs any form of template, however big the computer. It seems to be some sort of natural law that, wow, sorry, I just noticed there's an enormous spider in my studio. How big is that? Okay, look, I'm sorry, that was very off topic. I only just know. How you doing, mate? Okay, good, great. Okay, so everybody runs out of processing power at some point, and we tend to use slave computers, extra computers where we can host all the instruments. But using Vienna Ensemble Pro, you can also host effects. And so, because one of the big hogs, one of the big things which chews up tons and tons of CPU are all those reverbs and things that you run inside your DAW. So here's a really simple way of setting that up, and I'm going to show you how to do it in both Cubase and Logic. So here's a piano, okay, running in Contact, and here is an ordinary Common or Garden instance of Vienna Ensemble Pro, just the instrument. So I've put it in on an instrument track. And for those of you familiar with that, I have over the other side, here we are, let me just show you that. Over on the other side, there we are, I have an instance of Vienna Ensemble Pro, which is called Effects. We'll come back to that in a minute. So we're going to start by connecting our instrument here to Effects. There it goes, blonk, like that, 1-0. Now, over on the other side, as you saw, I have now what I've got here is a bus, one of these ones, insert bus, Control B, and on that bus I have put an instance of spaces, and it's going to be an insert effect, so I've turned the dry signal down and the wet right the way up. Now, this top little patch here, this little thing, you have to select an input. Now, on this particular instance, I've got up to 12 inputs. You can have as many as you like, pretty much. I think it's up to 48 or something. So let us select input 1 and 2. Okay, so input 1 and 2 goes into spaces and comes out on the master bus. Okay, let's leave that be for the moment. Right, now let's go back here. Now, if I was going to put reverb on this piano on a bus-based effect, I would put an effects track in, which is what I'm going to do. Okay, and I'm going to call it reverb. Not feverb, I'm going to call it reverb, because that's more sensible. Okay, like that. Now, instead of effect going to a reverb, I'm going to go right the way down to the bottom. And this one here, Vienna Ensemble Pro Audio Input. Okay, select that one and add track. Now, when that comes up, let's just get the mixer across so you can see what's going on. There we go. So here's the insert. It's there. We'll bring it up. This is what you'll get. It says, I am not assigned. So now we'll assign it. It is in addition to the instrument, okay? So this is we got the audio input. We're putting in an effects channel, just like we would the normal reverb. We're going to select the FX. You see this audio here. Here we have the same choice of inputs. So we're going to choose 1 and 2, and I'm going to go assign. Now it is assigned. Now all this is working. All I need to do, when I bring up my, there's the piano. Now let's send that to the aux bus reverb, turn it on, and with any luck, there, you see? So it works exactly the same as a reverb would normally. And if we swap over to the other side, and because it's got inbuilt delay compensation, it's not using up tons and tons of latency. You're not getting it back miles later. It obviously works best for insert effects like this. But how much does this actually save you in terms of CPU? Let's take this. Let's duplicate this then. This track. Let's have, I don't know, duplicate this a few times and see if it makes any CPU impact at all. So that's 4. That's 8. So that's going to be 16, isn't it? Okay, we've got 16 of those. And let's get our VST performance up. And here it is. And it's truckling along right down there, which is no big deal. Okay, right. So now, just for the sake of argument, let us see add effects channel. Let's go into, and rather than putting in audio input, I'm going to use spaces. There it is. Okay, let's put one of those in. Here it is. Hello, spaces. How are you? Oh, I'm fine, thanks very much. Okay, let's just stick any old thing in there so it's active. Right. Let's do the same again. So we'll duplicate him. I mean, space is not particularly bad in terms of CPU. It's just that convolution reverbs in general. So what are we up to? 8 at the moment. Let's have a look at VST performance. Okay, here's the performance problem. So we got 16 instances of reverb, which is not unreasonable in a DAW at all. And as you can see, the performance is already hovering around, what, 30–40%. You really don't want it to go much higher than that. And you haven't even got any instruments in there yet. So this, so that's 16 instances of spaces. Spaces is not by any means bad. It's just that convolution reverb in general does use a lot of CPU. Now, if we do the same thing with the Vienna audio input, let's add that like that. Assign it quickly. That's it. It's assigned. Right. Now, let's double those up and see how that goes. 2, 4, 8, 16. And let's get the performance back up. You see it's hardly moving. I mean, it is moving, but it's significantly less. It's probably a third of what the CPU will be using otherwise. And that's, so the point is that it will save you an awful lot of CPU. Right, now I promised I'd show you how a Logic setup works. So here we go. So here is our Vienna Ensemble instrument. So we've got a piano. Okay, we have a Vienna Ensemble instrument, a normal one, which we will now connect to FX. There it goes. Okay, so the piano is sending its reverb out on bus 13. Here is an aux channel, and the aux channel has got the VSL Pro input on it there. And this is the box up here. So now we're going to assign it to the same instance, and it's set for 1 and 2, and you can start hearing. There you go. And if we look on the, so it works. I have heard 1 or 2 people saying that they have more problems on Logic than Cubase, but look, it works, and it would save you, if you are the kind of person who runs a template with an enormous amount of reverbs and things like this. This could save you shed loads of CPU and just help you keep your proverbial head above water. And how's my friend up there doing? He's moved. He's moved. He's there. So how did you get on? Do you think you'll be using Ensemble Pro for hosting your instruments? And what about effects like that? Reverb. Yes, he's going to use the reverb as well. Well, that's good. Great. Okay. That's all I got for you today. Join me again, and do remember to subscribe to the channel if you want to have more useful stuff flowing towards you at the speed of light. And of course, if you want my free guide, there's a little link down there, and you can get that as well sent to your inbox. Okay, for the time being, farewell.